All right. Thanks for coming by. This is Telex here, and thank the maker. It's Tasty Tuesday. Couldn't have come sooner. I would get it here as quick as I could today. It's been one of those days. But we're here with a good dram, hopefully. We got the Benriach 21, and this is a 46% ABV. It is Speyside, and it's not chill filtered, thankfully, which is good. It's not peated, but Benriach is known for both unpeated and peated offerings. This one, the color is unknown. I don't suspect it being, colored with anything extra E150A type of thing, but you never know since they don't really tell you specifically. This has got 4 casks, not one, two, not even three, but 4 cask maturation. So that to me tells me it's probably not and doesn't have an extra color because the 4 casks are not just the bourbon and not just a virgin American oak, but they also have a PX cherry cask and they have red wine casks using this too. It's a lot going on. Hopefully it comes out in the whiskey. Rachel Berry, she is the master blender for this deal here. You might know her from also doing Glendronach, and she used to work for, I believe, Bowmore back in the day, and we'll get to that in a second. Let's go in for a nose. I always let it sit out for at least, every year on the bottle, I usually give it a minute. So this one I let sit out minimum 21 minutes. That's what I usually try to do. This one in particular needs some extra oxidation. So keep that in mind with my usual minute per year rule. I would also maybe add a little extra, especially if you don't have the bottle open. If you've already had the bottle open and you're more than halfway, then I wouldn't worry about as much. But if you are in the neck pour, even down to like not even past the top part of the label, if you haven't got down to about right here, you definitely want to let it sit a little bit longer. But first note you get is like a custard with some ginger. It's a nice kind of a combination. Hmm. Some honey and fruit like strawberries. Maybe even some pineapple. Some cereal notes in there too. Maltiness. What's on the tail end? It's like a cedar wood almost. Huh, that's nice. Let's give it a little swirl and see what we get. Hmm. First, it's a little thin to medium on the mouth coat, but there's some really nice, rich, medium red fruits. What I get for doing this live, medium red fruits. Some caramel in there. White pepper. And there's an interesting combination right when you get the white pepper. It's like a milk chocolatey note, but there's also it's balanced by some vanilla properties too. That's weird. It's good though. It's a good mixture. The finish is definitely I'd say medium length on the oaky property side of things. There's some nice rhubarb in there. Savory pie and savory rhubarb pie, I want to say. There's a slight leathery note there with a little bit, believe it or not, even though it's not peated, there is a little bit of a smokiness going on. Probably a combination of the oak and some of the red wine casks, maybe. I like that. Let's have a little dot of water. So far, so good. It's delicate and not intense, though. If you're looking for an intense taste, it's not going to give it to you. It's delicate, but it is a refined Speyside. If you're looking for a refined Speyside, so far, so good. let's give it like literally a drop. And this is 46. I'm talking like literally like a drop or two at the most. Get your, if you've got a, what do you call it? Dropper. If you got a dropper, that's the best way to do it. To really, eyedropper, fine tune that water drop that you want to do. A couple of them. Let's give it a little swirl and see what we get. But hopefully this will change a lot. Typically, adding a couple of drops of water does, thankfully. Makes it even more complex. You get more enjoyment out of it. Doesn't have to be a hot whiskey to do it. You could do it at 40% at a drop and still get a lot out of it. So I definitely recommend giving it a try. Oh yeah, a lot of changes already on the nose. It's brought out the sugars, the confection sugary goodness out of it, almost like a marshmallow. It also has like a more of an apple pear combination going on the nose now. It kind of reminds me of a Japanese whiskey in a lot of aspects. So some Speysides that are well refined do that. If you've ever had a good hibiki or maybe a Nika, um, something like that, Ichibu, some really good Japanese whiskey kind of has that profile on the nose. Let's see if it did anything with the palate. Well, it brings the tartness down. It's a tart dram out of the gate. Hence, when I compared it to rhubarb, this brings out more of like a fruit vanilla deal on the palate. Wow, it's enjoyable. The thing about this one I like with the water a lot is the finish is longer. It actually lengthens the finish, which is really interesting to me. It has the same notes though, as far as the going back to the oakiness and the slight smoke, slight leathery goodness. It's similar to that, but it does extend it. Man, this is a tough one to grade. It's good. It's not outstanding though. I mean, it feels like a muted trumpet. It's got the potential. I give Rachel Berry props for doing the forecast maturation. I'm as surprised that she couldn't get a little more out of it. I'm wondering if it's because of the 46%. If it was 48, would it give a little bit of a boost, or the mouth coat might have been a little thicker, maybe a little more intensity on the taste? But it's complex. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on certain things. Like, it's funny. Like the nose at first was like the best thing about it, until I added a little water, and then it seemed like it really brought out the finish. Um, so it's kind of all over the place a little, and that's why even though it's good quality, it's a little disjointed as far as you know, the bits and pieces, but the sum of all parts are a good steady 3.75 out of 5, 0.25 increments, the way I look at it. Thankfully, and for a 21-year-old, I don't factor value into the score at all, but just to give you a heads up, thankfully, I found this for like 120, which is an insanely low price for a 21-year-old. That's well worth it. I would pick it up if you could find it for 120 to even up to about 150 American. Once you get beyond 150 American, I would probably put the brakes on it. Also, I haven't had. I mean, I've had the 17 some dest. I can't even say it. Septimdecim. This is so sad, but you know what I'm talking about. They have some peated offerings. A 17-year one's really good. Curiositas is a 10-year-old peated that's really good. You might want to try for the same price. Get like a 20-year-old that's peated. They also have an old version of Benriach that's a Benriach just a flat 20. That seems to do better than this one in a lot of aspects. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just a more focused offering and all around. But I don't think anyone would be disappointed really, by this one. But we'll see. I'm going to start a new live feed just here in a second. I'm going to stop this short review. I appreciate y'all stopping by for a quick sip, and we're going to talk about it with Malt Muser coming up here shortly. Just back with me. I'll start the new live feed and join. And please subscribe if you haven't done already. Sláinte for 1 second.